You guys are gonna laugh. So it's gonna work. I'm a little nervous, but this is what I got. It's all the weight of the motor is already on the brace, so I can slide this shit from underneath. I gotta get the jack underneath this transmission, and then I'll slowly let the weight off of that with the weight on the jack, and then I'm gonna do the torque converter bolts, and then we'll slide this transmission out, and then I'm gonna try to get this engine on this for now and get it and push it in my garage. But I'm hungry, dude. I'm starting to feel lightheaded. It been out here, so I uploaded the video. It took like an hour. I've been out here for about an hour and a half ish. I'm hungry. I haven't really ate. I had a cinnamon roll today, and it's like 2 in the afternoon. No, it's past that. It's like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I've had a cinnamon roll and that lemon and a little bit of coffee. That's all I've ate today is 2 lemons, a cinnamon roll, and some coffee. Which, I'm looking for that coffee. I think I left it outside. I'll be right back. So still no message for any parts. People are looking at stuff. I looked at the other messages I had. They were a bunch of bullshit. So just continue working. That's all I can do. These angel wings are good, but they don't fill you up, That's probably still hot as fuck. Strong as fuck. I forgot to put sugar in there. There's no milk in there, but sugar would help. Let's get it down. I have all these cookies and I can't eat them. I got that microwave full of egg. I fucking half tempted to fucking wash it out, bring it back in here. I didn't scrap it. I forgot to grab it and fucking cook up these noodles. I ain't got no butter. I don't have nothing. It'd just be noodles. I don't have olive oil, nothing. Could always bug my neighbor, but I don't feel like bothering him. I'm at my Bill's house. He's been gone all day, so I was gonna steal some wood from him. I was about to just go in his yard and take some, but he's not there, so I don't need his family fucking calling the police on me or something. So I'll wait. I'll deal with what I have. So I'm probably gonna have him take me to the store later. Take back these bottles and go get me some milk. I gotta get this transmission off. The only thing that's holding on is torque converter bolts, really. I don't have much to eat now. I'm getting desperate over here. Eating plain tortillas is bad. I gotta get something in me. That's why I hibernated earlier too, took a nap. I'm waiting for people to message me. And people take forever to make big decisions like that. It's a lot of money, $350 I'm asking. It's a lot of money for people. That's half their paycheck, you know, for most people. My mind is just starting to feel better. Now I have some sustenance in me. Starving. Time to I'm just squeezing this one real quick just to get some calories in me, you know? That's all I'm working on doing right now. I don't want to drink it all in case I don't get any money tonight. I got something to hold me over to the morning. Because if I don't make any money tonight, I'm going to shoot over to donate some plasma in the morning so I have some money for food. I'm hoping somebody calls me tonight. It's possible, man. Saturday night, I'm telling you, man, I made 10 racks in one night selling cars on a Saturday night. Think I'm playing? I'm not playing. I'm serious. Listen, you can go from having nothing to being rich overnight. Serious. All you gotta do is accept Jesus in your heart. You automatically become rich. And become the richest man in the world. Or woman. So fucking good. Love lemons. They changed my life. They really have. I need a fucking paper towel or something. Not a paper towel. I'm telling you, man, I need to get moving. It's just not easy by yourself, man. I'm doing everything by myself. And I'm starting from the bottom for everyone, so it's not easy when you're doing it. And it's fucking stupid I'm doing it all over again, but that's what it is. I know how to do it, so that's why I'm sharing it with everyone. It takes a long time. It takes a few years to build up a good company. A dash of Rip It and the lemon. Throw some water in there. Chug the bitch. Gotta chug this shit. Some sugar. Boom. Calories. Food intake. Gotta have it. Fluid is actually better a lot of times. A lot of people eat when their stomach's growling. They really need to just drink water. Fluids. Seeds and all. Extra calories. I don't really like them. For some reason when they hit, like if they hit my throat, I want to gag, but I try not to think about it. Lemon coffee. tortillas. That's it for right now. I don't really feel like cookies. I got fudge strip cookies, I got pecan cookies, I got chocolate chip cookies. Bill hooked me up with the cookies, man. Bill's a cookie monster. I'm honestly waiting for Bill to get back. I'm kind of nervous. I want to grab a couple more boards and reinforce this a little bit. I mean, all the weight's on it. Really, I'm not trying to lift the motor up. The motor's already up. I'm trying to keep the motor from falling over left, right, this way or that way. So I can disconnect this and then slide a cart underneath it in a sense, you know? Which that cart's going to go underneath that side, and I'm going to slowly lower it back down, and it's going to go this way. So, dude, nobody's helping me. And I don't have... Ryan, listen, man, I'll never get that cherry picker across the street. Guy's a bug. And I had one, but I helped out an ex-serviceman. So... I'm going to smoke. Relax for a minute. We go all night. Fix the camera a little bit. I'm going to do some Bible reading. And smoke. Because Bill's not home yet. And I don't have any more wood. I'm out of wood. And those screws ain't long enough. And I'm not risking fucking up my motor, you know? It don't make any sense. Why risk it when I can just wait? Why risk the biscuit? Listen, that motor ain't going nowhere. It's back there. That money's back there. My cat just came out. She heard me. What's up, kitty? Kitty. Kitty, kitty. I thought I had a lighter on me. Must have left it outside. See, I'm starting to feel nauseous because I chugged all that lemonade. And I was already getting hungry. I think Bill's back. I see the gate closed. I'm about to go down there in a minute. I'm gonna smoke this first. Ventura, baby girl, come on. Hi. Hey. Hi. What? Come on. Yeah? Come here. Come here, girl. That's my girl. That's my kitty. She said no. She's getting so chunky. So yeah, we're gonna smoke. We're gonna read a paragraph of the Bible, talk about it, then we'll go bother Bill, see if I can find some screws and a couple more pieces of wood. I just need basically a 2x4 to reinforce the bottom, square it out, so I don't have to worry about it tipping when I put more weight on it, and then we'll get it off. As soon as I get that trans off, set the motor on the cart, all that wood is getting disassembled, thrown into a pile. I won't need it anymore. As soon as I sell the stuff, I'm gonna go get a cherry picker, and then buy a cherry picker and fucking go get this Honda CR-V, but I might wait until I go to court this 20th. Let them know what's going on with my dad in this house. See how much time I have to get out of here. Because they're going to give me a time. And if I have enough time, then I'll go get that Honda CR-V and bring it here. I still might go get it. I'd bring it somewhere else. I'll figure it out if I need it. Alright. We got a read job. It's Sabbath, man. I'd rather be in the Bible all day than working on that motor. But I gotta get that transmission separated. I don't even care if I get money tonight. I'm not really expecting for money tonight. Simply because it's Sabbath. I'd rather get the money tomorrow, to be honest with you. As long as I got food for the night, I'm happy. I got God, I got myself, I have a place to sleep tonight, my own bed, my own home. I could have paid for this place, but I chose not to. God told me not to pay for it. God told me to move on. It's time to rock, time to shine. Show everyone what I'm all about. Alright, so we're gonna finish, we'll continue reading. It says, "You're missing God in all this." Jesus once again addressed them, "I am the world's light. No one who follows me stumbles around in the darkness. I provide plenty of light to live in." The Pharisees objected, "All we have is your word on this. We need more than this to go on." Jesus replied, "You're right that you only have my word, but you can depend on it being true. I know where I've come from and where I go next. You don't know where I'm from or where I am headed. You decide according to what you can see and touch. I don't make judgments like that. But even if I did, my judgments would be true because I wouldn't make judgments like that." No, I reread. It says, "But even if I did, my judgment would be true because I wouldn't make it out of the narrowness of my experience, but in the largeness of the one who sent me, the Father, that fulfills the conditions set down in God's law, that you can count on the testimony of two witnesses, and that is what you have. You have my word, and you have the word of the Father who sent me." They said, "Where is this so-called Father of yours?" Jesus said, "You're looking right at me and you don't see me. How do you expect to see the Father? If you knew me, you would at the same time know the Father." He gave the speech in the treasury while teaching in the temple. No one arrested him because his time wasn't yet up. Then he went over the same ground again. I'm leaving and you are going to look for me, but you're missing God in this and are headed for a dead end. There is no way you can come with me." It's because these people have the spirit of hatred against Jesus. That's why they cannot come with him. They never opened their heart, and Jesus knew that, and that's what Jesus was telling them. It says, the Jews said, "So is he going to kill himself? Is that what he means by 'you can't come with me'?" Jesus said, "You're tied down to the mundane. I'm in touch with what is beyond your horizons. You live in terms of what you see and touch. I'm living on other terms. I told you that you were missing God in all of this. You're at a dead end. If you won't believe I am who I say I am, you're at the dead end of sins. You're missing God in your lives." They said to him, "Just who are you anyway?" Jesus said, "What I've said from the start. I have so many things to say that concern you, judgments to make that affect you. But if you don't accept the trustworthiness of the one who commanded my words and acts, none of it matters. That is who you are questioning, not me, but the one who sent me." They still didn't get it, didn't realize that he was referring to the Father. So Jesus tried again. "When you raise up the Son of Man, then you will know who I am, that I am not making this up, but speaking only what the Father taught me. The one who sent me stays with me. He doesn't abandon me. He sees how much joy I take in pleasing him." When he put it in these terms, many people decided to believe. It says, "If the Son sets you free." Then Jesus turned to the Jews who had claimed to believe in him. "If you stick with this, living out what I tell you, you are my disciples for sure. Then you will experience for yourselves the truth, and the truth will free you." Surprised, they said, But we're descendants of Abraham. We've never been slaves to anyone. How can you say the truth will free you?" Jesus said, "I tell you most solemnly that anyone who chooses a life of sin is trapped in a dead-end life and is in fact a slave. A slave is a transient who can come and go at will. The Son, though, has an established position, the run of the house. So if the Son will, the Son, though, I messed up. A slave is a transient who can't come and go out. A slave is a transient who can't come and go at will. The Son, though, has an established position, the run of the house. So if the Son sets you free, you are free through and through. I know you are Abraham's descendants, but I also know that you are trying to kill me because my message hasn't yet penetrated your thick skulls. I'm talking about things I have seen while keeping company with the Father, and you just go on doing what you have heard from your father. They were indignant. Our father is Abraham. Jesus said, if you were Abraham's children, you would have been doing the things Abraham did, and yet here you are trying to kill me, a man who has spoken you the truth he got straight from God. Abraham never did that sort of thing. You persist in repeating the works of your father. They said, we're not bastards. We have a legitimate father, the one and only God. If God were your father, said Jesus, you would love me, for I came from God and arrived here. I didn't come on my own. He sent me. Why can't you understand one word I say? Here's why. You can't handle it. You're from your father, the devil, and all you want to do is please him. He was a killer from the very start. He couldn't stand the truth because there wasn't a shred of truth in him. When the liar speaks, he makes it up out of his lying nature and fills the world with lies. I arrive on the scene, tell you the plain truth, and you refuse to have a thing to do with me. Can any one of you convict me of a single misleading word, a single sinful act? But if I'm telling the truth, why don't you believe me? Anyone on God's side listens to God's words. This is why you're not listening, because you're not on God's side. So it says, I am who I am. The Jews then said, that clinches it. We were right all along when we called you a Samaritan and said you were crazy, demon-possessed. Jesus said, I'm not crazy. I simply honor my Father while you dishonor me. I'm not trying to get anything from myself. God intends something gloriously grand here and is making the decisions that will bring it about. I say this with absolute confidence. If you practice what I'm telling you, you'll never have to look death in the face. At this point, the Jews said, now we know you're crazy. Abraham died, the prophets died, and you show up saying, if you practice what I'm telling you, you'll never have to face death, not even a taste? Are you greater than Abraham who died, and the prophets died? Who do you think you are? Jesus said, if I turn the spotlight on myself, it wouldn't amount to anything, but my Father, the same one you say is your Father, put me here at this time and place of splendor. You haven't recognized him in this, but I have. If I, in false modesty, say I didn't know what was going on, I would be as much of a liar as you are. But I do know, and I am doing what he says. Abraham, your father, with jubilant faith looked down the corridors of history and saw my day coming. He saw it and cheered. The Jews said, you're not even 50 years old, and Abraham saw you? Believe me, said Jesus, I am who I am, long before Abraham was anything. That did it, pushed them over the edge. They picked up rocks to throw at him, but Jesus slipped away, getting out of the temple. Chapter 9, it says, true blindness. When walking down the street, Jesus saw a man blind from birth. His disciples asked, Rabbi, which is teacher, who sinned, this man or his parents, causing him to be born blind? Jesus said, you're asking the wrong question. You're looking for someone to blame. There is no such cause-effect here. Look instead for what God can do. We need to be energetically at work for the one who sent me here, working while the sun shines. When night falls, the workday is over. For as long as I am in the world, there is plenty of light. I am the world's light. He said this and then spit in the dust, made a clay paste with saliva, rubbed the paste on the blind man's eyes and said, go wash at the pool of Siloam. Siloam means sent. The man went and washed and saw. He became, he wasn't blind anymore. Soon the town was buzzing. His relatives and those who year after year had seen him as a blind man begging were saying, why isn't this man we knew who sat here and begged? Others said, it's him all right, but others objected, it's not the same man at all, it looks just like him. He said, it's me, the very one. They said, how did your eyes get open? A named man Jesus made a paste and rubbed it on my eyes and told me, go to Siloam and wash. And I did what he said. When he asked, and I saw. When I washed, I saw. So they asked, so where is he? He replied, I don't know. They marched the man to the Pharisees. They grabbed him, snatched him up. They marched him to the Pharisees, the lawmakers, in a sense. This day when Jesus made the paste and healed his blindness was the Sabbath. So it's actually the same day as today, Saturday. The Pharisees grilled him again on how he had come to see. He said, he put a clay paste on my eyes and I washed and now I see. Some of the Pharisees said, obviously this man can't be from God. He doesn't keep the Sabbath. Others countered, how can a bad man do miracles? God revealing things like this. There was a split in their ranks. They came back at the blind man. You're the expert. He opened your eyes. What do you say about him? He said he is a prophet. The Jews didn't believe it, didn't believe the man was blind to begin with. So they called the parents of the man, now bright-eyed with sight. They asked them, is this your son, the one you say was born blind? So how is it that now he sees? His parents said, we know he is our son, and we know he was born blind, but we do not know how he came to see, having a clue about who opened his eyes. Why don't you ask him? He's a grown man. He can speak for himself. His parents were talking like this because they were intimidated by the Jewish leaders, who had already decided that anyone who took a stand that this was the Messiah, that this was the Messiah, would be kicked out of the meeting place. You know, they didn't want anybody to follow this man. They were scared of him. Keep on hearing noise behind me. That's why his parents said, ask him. He's a grown man. They called the man back a second time, the man who had been blind, and told him, give credit to God. We know this man is an impostor. He replied, I know nothing about the one way or the other, but I know one thing for sure. I was blind, and I now see. They said, what did he do to you? How did he open your eyes? I've told you over and over, you haven't listened. Why do you want to hear it again? Are you so eager to become his disciples? With that, they jumped all over him. You might be a disciple of that man, but we're disciples of Moses. We know for sure that God spoke to Moses, but we have no idea where this man even comes from. The man replied, this is amazing. You claim to know nothing about him, but the fact is he opened my eyes. It's well known that God isn't at the beck and call of sinners, but listens carefully to anyone who lives in reverence and does his will. That someone opened the eyes of a man born blind has never been heard of, ever. If this man didn't come from God, he wouldn't be able to do anything. They said, you're nothing but dirt. How dare you take the tone with us? Then they threw him out in the street. Jesus heard that they had thrown him out. Had thrown him out and went and found him. He asked him, do you believe in the Son of Man? The man said, point him out to me, sir, so that I can believe in him. Jesus said, you're looking right at him. Don't you recognize my voice? Master, I believe, the man said, and worshipped him. Jesus then said, I came into the world to bring everything into the clear light of day, making all the distinctions clear, so that those who have never seen will see, and those who have made a great pretense of seeing will be exposed as blind. Some Pharisees overheard him and said, does that mean you're calling us blind? Jesus said, if you're really blind, you would be blameless, but since you claim to see everything so well, you're accountable for every fault and failure. That's why I said in many videos that a child isn't, unless that child is taught, the child is blameless. You can't hold anyone accountable for anything unless they're taught. Once I teach them something and tell them, and then they do it, I can hold them accountable. But there was many things that he was speaking, you know, he was spoken in metaphors because he was using the physical to teach the spiritual. The guy was physically blind, but he not only healed the man to show him, you know, the faith, that his faith in God. God healed the man. Jesus didn't heal the man. But he was also showing that people are blind to God, the heart. It's not them that they weren't blind with their eyes, they were blind with their heart. So he was using this blind man as a representation of what is going on with their heart, that their heart was sick. So that's the end of that. It's 28 minutes. I'm about to head over to Bill's and see if I can get some wood. I might count up some change and go get some food, some hearty food, and then get this transmission separated. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Take care.